I don't think many taxpayers will be that happy with it either. You know, this is just as we're about to see a 1.25 percentage point increase in national insurance. We're seeing the cost of living going up. We're seeing inflation at a 3-decade high. We're seeing wages being cut by 1% in real terms. You know, people are really struggling at the moment, and things are only going to get worse in the next few months. So I think people are going to be quite annoyed that, you know, MPs are getting a nice pay rise to go alongside it.
Although I suppose if we're looking at inflation at the rate that it is, we're seeing inflation potentially even reaching double digits by next year. A 2.4% pay rise in real terms for MPs could be described as a pay cut.
Yeah, that is true. But, you know, this is considering that MPs' pay is, you know, currently at £81,000. It's going to go up to £84,000. I think a lot of people, you know, given that the fact that the national sort of average wage is about £31,000, I think a lot of people will think that's not a fair deal, you know, that's not too bad. They seem to be okay. They seem to be okay remunerated. So I don't think that it's a massive loss for MPs.
Well, Charlie Peters, that is a fair point, is it not? That this looks terrible for people who are really struggling, particularly this year, particularly as bills seem to be going up all over the place. Why should MPs be getting this much cash?
Right, talk about bad timing. He couldn't have picked a worse time to push this announcement through. And sometimes I feel as though they make these announcements deliberately to try and stoke up as much kind of anti-MP anger. They choose them very badly, I think. But look, I mean, I've long been a proponent of rising MP salaries. I think they should be paid more. You've heard from me on this show, in fact, saying that actually quite a lot of the time, I think that the poor representation that we suffer in Parliament is often due to the fact that people look elsewhere for their careers because they see 84 grand and they think, well, you know, I'm a highly qualified manager. I could pick up 6 figures in the city instead. Why should I endure a life of online harassment and daily attacks from the media in exchange for such a paltry sum? But okay, I'm starting to wheel back a bit from that position, especially in light of cost of living crisis and taxation rises, national insurance. I think really we should find a middle ground here where MPs can enjoy a bigger slice of the cake if they make the cake bigger for all of us too.